What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Monday night live stream. And you might have forgotten this guy who's to my right, but he was there from the beginning. But he's back, and it's Marty
I'm
and
back.
George. Marty, how you been, man?
I'm good, Raul. It's good
Yeah?
to be back. Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Thanks for welcoming me back. I was afraid you guys wouldn't want me anymore after I was gone so long.
Come on. Yeah.
It's like, who's that?
You were
schmuck?
never gone. You were never forgotten. You were always here. So it's good to have you back, Marty.
Yeah, good to be back.
George, how you doing, man?
Fine.
Good. That's great. Well, I know we have Shotgun Dave making his way back home. He had a little bit of technical difficulties. Danny will always join us later because he comes from school. But let's see who's in the chat and what's going on. So I see.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I got to go to the page.
Yeah, we got Slaughter in the house. We have DNA in the house. DNA did a fantastic job this weekend with Sasha and Dai. Really bringing us some of that cool stuff from the 24 hours of Tacoma. So thanks for that, guys. John Albright is in the house with the popcorn. He's ready. John Tucci is here. Bo is here from Germany. Thank you, Bo. Always here. Patriot is in the house. I know Patriot is splitting his time between my live stream and Dan's live stream because Dan is interviewing Shannon on his channel. But big shout out, and if you haven't hit the cowbell, go ahead and hit the cowbell. Thank you. See, the fingers in the house. Hey, the fingers, how are you? And let's see who else we have. Well, a big chat so far. Jeff G's in the house. Chris Freder. Let's see who else is here. Garage of Slot Cars, how are you, man? Long time no see. Saw you post a video after a long time. Glad to have you back, bud. Gene's
back,
here. Bill Royal. Hey, Bill. Cyber.
Tad, your track looks awesome, dude. Tad on there. This track looks great.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen it. Holy smokes. That looks,
looks
like
fantastic.
a good old-fashioned dirt track.
Nice.
Good job.
We got Sean
Awesome.
Casey here. And Tad. And who else we got? I'm just scrolling through here, just saying hi to everyone so I don't forget as much as I can before we get into it. Danny, what are you doing? Why aren't you on the live stream, Danny?
He's probably driving.
Yeah.
From class.
Yeah, Danny's coming in as soon as he gets home, I guess. All right. Yep, everyone noticed Marty's got his toque on, and it's a bit brisk in his garage, but that's okay. So, Marty, tell us what you've been all about. I know you do your live stream, but, just update the people that maybe, and I hardly doubt this, but maybe don't watch you on Tuesday. So tell us how you've been, man.
Yeah, I've been good. It's race season, so we've been traveling down to Cincinnati on Thursday nights. We've only missed a couple of Thursday nights since they started, and so it's been fun. So I've been tuning cars, but honestly, since Dave Kennedy sent me the Showdown chassis, I've been neck deep in scratch building, playing around with stuff, working on the Showdown car, and sending lots of questions to George and Shotgun Dave, and they've been gracious to help out. So yeah, that's been my slot car life here lately is building and painting and doing the things that are kind of out of the ordinary for me. So, which has been a lot of fun. So
yes, and that is Shotgun Dave in the house. What's up, Shotgun?
Whew! What a day.
Hey,
Yeah. Yeah, tell us about your day. How's it going, Dave? How are you?
You should never sit for an hour and a half in your car with the radio running, with the car not running.
Oh no!
Killed the battery. I had to call
Kill
my
the
wife
battery.
direct to the jump box. Man, that was not fun.
Oh, really? It drained that fast, huh?
Yeah, well, I do it every day when I go pick up my son from school. So I think I just, I don't know. It normally doesn't do that, but today it decided to be dead.
I can't do that to my car because it's got a race battery in it, so it's a real small battery. It's a lightweight battery, so you can't really tax it that way. Plus, those cars have a lot of parasitic drag, or parasitic, draw. The computers and everything are always powered.
Right. Oh well, it's all good now. We made it. So.
Yeah, it's good to have you here, man. Marty was just telling us about what he's doing with the scratch build chassis. So take it away, Marty. You got the two OGs. You got George here on one side. You got Dave here on the other side.
I think half of Dave on one side, I only see half his face.
The other way, Dave. The other way. There you
go. They're tired of hearing from me. I've asked them a million questions the last couple of weeks. So
yeah, I don't know.
Way, never get that.
Okay, well that's BS. But go ahead, continue with that. You just go with that, man.
No, listen. You guys have put out such great videos that I really haven't had to lean on you very much because you just put great content out there. I mean, anybody who's wanting to do this kit, I mean, it's so well thought out, and you guys did an awesome job. I think people who are jumping in for the first time, if that's their first chassis they build, I'm so happy with how mine performs on the track. I didn't even know if it would drive straight, so I got it finished, and it's fun. So kudos to you guys.
What was your words? It's very satisfying to see something you built actually go around the track.
Yep.
That's the whole key right there. It's satisfying.
Oh yeah, it was a proud moment. I was like, will this thing even go? I mean, listen, I can tune some slot cars now. I had an idea that it would go, but now, I mean, that was from start to finish. And that was what was like the pride that I had in it was nothing, a bunch of parts. And then within, a couple of days, really a couple of hours, I had a chassis going around the track, and then I started working on the body and got some paint on it. And it was fun to watch that go around the track and go, I did that from the ground up. That's cool.
Yeah.
It might be the slowest car once it gets to the thing, to the proxy race. It might be the slowest car.
You never know.
I don't really care.
I got the fastest lap from the fastest lap challenge.
That's awesome.
Car. It was the fastest one. Not the fastest in the race, but it had the fastest lap time. So you never know.
Cool.
Yeah. Happens all the time. People build the first car and they come in there and just outperform everything.
Well, I want the model to look good. So that's the important part to me. Is I want to pay homage to Jake Dyke. I told that story on my.
Everybody has to remember it's the effort that's important too.
Yeah.
It's the effort you do.
Yeah. So I'm excited about sending it in. But George, I'm going to send it to you first.
Okay.
And then I'll have you send it back to me, and then I'll send it on to.
I could send it directly to Harry if you want. It's not a big deal.
Harry,
unless you want.
Yeah, if it's all right with you, once I get it done.
All right.
Yeah, whatever you want to do, but once I'm completely finished, I want to send it because that was Dave's idea. Dave was like, when you build it, you need to send it to George so he can test it out on his track, and so that's what we're gonna do.
Sure.
So once it's finished, I'll send it to you, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, got to have some track testing, and then a little tweaking if it needs it before it heads on to Harry's, and then, like you said, you never know. With all the hands involved and all the testing, it might just get in there and take the prize.
Yeah,
never know.
That's usually what happens. A lot of first-time guys that they just the modeling or the other aspects that they do. I mean, it's like wow, and that's what's exciting again because when you see people break out like that and come with a fantastic car, a fast car, a real good mover, it's like cool. Why don't you build more? Come back again.
Right. Well, I think with the kit, you'll probably have a big number of cars this time around. I would think.
Yeah, there's lots of people building right now. It's for sure.
Yeah, and
What
that's
really
exciting.
shocked me was the midget. That I'm really surprised. I only expected 5 or 6 cars. So there's a couple more that are still building, and that was really something that that really got me by surprise.
Yeah, that's awesome. They look great too, man.
Yeah,
The ones you've shown.
And it's really cool too, Marty, that you're actually, uh, conscientious about making the car look good, because with Harry, that's more than half the race right there is the looks. It's all about, as he always says, it's all about the modeling, and that's really what he's looking
Right.
for it for you to model these cars. And yeah, it's really cool. And because yours is modeled after an actual car, a
yeah,
bonus for that.
Yeah, I figure I'd probably write up a little story about it and about what
do
Jake
that.
did for us as kids, and then have the picture. I'm trying to get a better picture of that picture, but yeah, I think it's cool that my first build was, in honor of some, another car and a person. So yeah, it's cool.
Really good. Well, what was the most challenging part that you would say was a stumbling block with the kit for yourself, being a first-time builder?
Honestly, I like the hardest part for me was deciding what to do, what car to build, because you can't start. Really, you can't do anything until you have the actual body, right? And so George and I had a conversation. I think I had settled on maybe doing the Nova, and then Shotgun. Dave sent me a link to eBay with the Camaro because I told him that's what I was looking for, and so that's what kind of started it. So that was probably the biggest stumbling block. I mean, honestly, the kit's laid out so well with the instructions in George's video, Dave's video. You can watch both of those, and the instructions are so laid out, and you've got everything in the kit. So from a stumbling block, I think just being conscious of learning to solder in a different way. That's way different. That type of soldering for chassis building is way different than just wires to a motor lead or things like that. So I think that was the biggest challenge was the soldering piece. But honestly, it wasn't that difficult once you get brave enough to finally stick the soldering iron on there and throw solder to it. So,
Yeah. Cool.
but it's about having the right tools. Like if I didn't have um, the the flux, right? I could see where that would be really difficult to get the solder to flow the way you need it to. So you got to have the stuff. You got to have the right tools.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so Gene wants to know, George, how many midget entries have you got, and how many do you expect to get in total?
Right now we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 10 right now, and I believe I'm thinking 6 more left, maybe less. So maybe about a total of 16 or 17 cars.
That's awesome.
And the one car, I'm not trying to foreshadow everybody else, but the one midget that really has got my attention is Michael Squires. He did an Elvis themed one, and I didn't really notice it until he pointed it out, but on the body, it has the Thunderbird that the suits that Elvis used to wear was the Thunderbird. It's on the back,
Yeah.
and it's on the front, and his wife, I guess, did that part for him, and that's something I never noticed, and I looked at it and I go, wow. So he's done a real spectacular job for his 5th car, I think, and especially to be that, that's a little bit more intricate than the other cars to do. So it's just really that's the part that really wows me when people come out with stuff like that, and it's like, wow, damn, I can't even do that. It's pretty cool.
Well, that's cool. I really like the midgets. They look pretty cool. My favorite one is the Mario one, though. I'll still stick with that
that
one.
one is Jeff's. That's the fastest one so far. I've
Yeah.
actually lap timed them, but what I want to do is when Frank comes here tomorrow, I want to, since I have a controller with settings, I want to be able to kind of tailor each control setting to each car. This way you get the maximum potential out of each car, and then gauge them that way with laps and stuff and see how they do. But so far, Jeff G, your car is the fastest car. It's the fastest one around the track right now, and the other ones are pretty close to it. Michaels and Rels and I forget the other. I think it's and Tads. They're all pretty, not too far from each other, so they're pretty fast.
That's cool. So yeah, let's just catch up with everyone else. I know George, you just showed off the midgets. What else have you been up to hobby wise over the last week?
Just really just tuning some poly cars. I got a lot of them to tune, so I've been like going through one right now. Before we went live, I was, it was the one of the Lotuses. So and then the Showdown car, I finished one. I still have to finish two more, so that's pretty much it. But I've been busy doing some work around the house mainly.
Nice. What about you, Dave? How's your week been?
Good. Just been working away.
Yeah, did you do anything else on the hobby side of things?
Yeah, I've been working on that 37 Ford pickup that I'm trying to get done to send to Harry for the Street Nap build. So that's my
that car is wild. I love it.
It's been fighting me the whole way. This car, it's just been fighting me. So I am determined to get this done, and so I can move on to something else because I have a couple other projects rattling around in my head that I want to get started on, but not till this thing is done. So.
All right. Yeah, so for myself, I got quite a surprise actually on Sunday. Out of the blue, some ex Wargamer friend that I knew messaged me and said he wanted to meet me for breakfast. So I haven't seen him in about at least 6 months. So I go out and we have breakfast, and he's like, "I noticed you're into slot cars," and we've never discussed this before. He just went into the hobby shop and they told him about me and my channel. He's like, "You should come over to my house and I'll show you my collection." And boy, was I in for a surprise. He's a drag racer, so he builds 125th drag cars. His collection is crazy. And then when he showed me his Echo collection, I think it's thousands of Echo cars. He's got Echo layout. Like, I was blown away, and I wasn't ready because it was a random meeting. So I am arranging to do an interview with him. But yeah, I was like, it was pleasantly surprised with and he literally lives like 5 minutes away from my house. So I was like, this guy's nuts. And yeah, he was showing me all the stuff he does with piano wire and everything else. And his collection, he's got, like, he's like me. He's got Lego. He's got, like, he does planes in 1/24th scale airplanes. He does RCs. He's doing oval racing. He's just an avid collector of stuff. So I felt quite at home in his house. And then he came over to my house to look at my collection right after. So it was kind of like, I was just blown away. But I will bring that interview probably in a week or so because, like I said, I wasn't prepared for what I saw. And I was pleasantly surprised. So the cool thing is he's invited me to build with him, like, side by side.
Nice.
So he's gonna show me how he uses, he solders silver solder and with the acid flux and everything. And so it's really nice to have that connection. You guys are too far away, otherwise, it'd be kind of cool. But it's just nice to have, like, that person that I can go by and chill and do slot cars. And he does Lego too, like crazy amounts. And everything you were showing me, I showed him Shotgun Dave. I was like, "Do you know Shotgun Dave?" He's like, "No." So I showed him what you did, and he was like, "That Volkswagen was a work of art." That's what he said. So just wanted to let you know. And it was it was crazy that 5 minutes away lives a person that was so into slot cars. And his Hot Wheels collection is another 6,000, I believe he has.
Wow.
like it's crazy. Like the stuff, like he had boxes upon boxes of cars, and all of them were custom, and all of them were like was like tattoo artists. He had a tattoo artist do a couple of the cars, so it's like got intricate paintwork on the cars itself, but it's all into old school American muscle. So like every car is like an American muscle car based on either a race that he's seen or yeah. So I have a lot to cover when I do his interview. I'll probably be there for like maybe a day or 2 days shooting. So it's pretty incredible. It's crazy that we've known each other for so long. He's a war gamer, still games, and I never knew that he had this side to him at all. So kind of cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so I mean that was pretty awesome from my side. Yeah, Gene, absolutely. It's funny you don't know someone. Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, it's pretty taken back. I sent you guys some of the videos and stuff. I know it's just Slot Avengers, so you guys have seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first car he showed me was that dragster. I think I have it here. Give me 1 second. Might as well pull it up. Oops, wrong one. Let's see if I can add this file in here. Sorry guys, bear with me 1 second. I'll see if I can bring this in. Oh yeah, so this is
That's
his
an actual
midget.
1/25th scale midget is what that is. That's what they look like.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it so I don't cover anyone. Let's see. I'll put it right there where Danny is supposed to be. Yeah, so that was his midget. And then
That's what these are. This is Matt B stuff, but
yeah, so it came in like a little like kit. And yeah, so he actually sent me the link to get this kit. It's actually available from
Mid America.
Yeah.
Mid America kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, he sent me the link, and this is one of the first things he said we should build together. So definitely gonna look at that. And then there was yeah, and then he had this crazy collection of I guess he's a famous Hot Wheels designer. He had this whole collection of cars that his diecast cars that he'd been collecting for years. So yeah, there's so much to see there. It was unbelievable, like a museum in his basement. So pleasantly blown away.
Those are Tom McDaniel's cars, right? Is that what his name was?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'll get more information when I go by. I was just like overwhelmed, honestly. Like at one point he was like, "You can take a photograph of any car." I said, "I want to photograph all of them." You know, like it was ridiculous. And every car was like, it had a story. You know, he had a story about every car. It was like, it wasn't like, you know, he didn't know. He knew everything about every car he pulled out, and he could tell me the history, when it was driven, who drove it. Like it was unbelievable. I was just like, wow. So yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, so it's really good to find another Slaughterhead around, and very close. So I'm hoping that we can actually do some stuff. He's a very shy person though, so every time I was saying, you know, do an interview, it was like, I don't want to show my face, and I was like, okay, no problems, we'll figure it out. So hopefully we can figure something out there. But anyway, so let's get into our topic tonight. We're gonna have a few really potent topics coming up over the next couple of weeks as we wrap up and go into the new year. We decided to go out with a bang. Shotgun Dave, you're allowed to do whatever you want, man. This is a Slot Avengers channel. Don't worry about it. I'm cool. But let's talk about this, this sticky situation that we find ourselves always talking about sometimes. And I don't think it's come up as of late, because I think as we progress, you don't really talk about it too much. But mag versus non-mag. So It's a constant discussion. George brought it up last week at the end of the live stream that we should talk about it this week, and I thought, why not? Who cares? Let's do it.
Blame
So
George.
let's throw George under the bus here. No.
It's all right. All you do is just crawl back from under the bus and get right back up and go at it. That's what I do.
right.
That's right. Well, yeah. So let's talk about it. I don't know what the issue is anymore, to be honest. As I've sat more and more in this hobby, I don't really see non-mag versus mag as an issue, to be quite fair and to be very, very blunt about it, because I think there's cases for both, and I enjoy actually doing both. I sometimes enjoy running a car with a magnet, and I really enjoy running a car with a non-magnet sometimes. And depending on the tune, I think with non-magnetic cars, they need to be tuned a lot more. But you get value out of that by seeing the result of the tune. But you know, Carrera cars, when they come with magnets, and they're built to run straight out of the box, and the magnets do what they need to do to keep the car down. And yeah, you can get past some of the faults of maybe the mold or maybe the alignment of the body and all of that, and sometimes that's what mags do. So, but hey, that's my take on it. And maybe Travis has something to say, because Travis just showed up. Yeah, and John Albright, definitely. But anyway, so I'll go around the room. You guys tell me what you think, and the chat will chime in, and we'll go from there. So where do you want to start? I'll start with George. George is ready. Let's go, George. He's disappeared.
I don't know what to say. When you first get into stock cars, and again, I use Marty as an example of that, because if you look at Marty, how he's progressed, it's your progression. Marty started with magnets, he started with digital, still with digital, not that he's not. But then when you go and you see other things and see other people, how they do stuff, then that's when the ideas roll in. So it's like when he went to Cincy Slots and he saw it, he was like, hey, that's actually pretty cool. You know, that's what it is. I mean, there's nothing wrong with magnets. It's great for grandkids because they can't really de-slop too much. You just turn the power down, and you know, as long as they're holding the trigger, the car will go around. It should hold on pretty good at a decent voltage. But it's all about, you know, what floats your boat, basically. I mean, Me, I started with magnets a long time ago, but as you progress, you start, you know, wanting to get more, how would you say, savvy in your skill set, and that's what happens is your skill set changes. But there's nothing wrong with magnets at all, in my opinion. It's whatever makes you have fun. You know, if you're having fun with magnets, stick with it. If you have fun with non-magnets, that's fine. And if you have with both, that's, you know, you're versatile. So I say it's not really more of a controversy. It's more of a, you know, a preference. And there's nothing wrong with both as long as you're having fun.
Yeah, so I mean, let's just go to the chat here for a second. You got Gene saying there's a place for both. I have mag and non-mag cars. I agree totally. Stock Car Guy wants to know, what about weights? SRC uses weights. I mean, that's part of the tuning process, I guess. When you look at cars, normally when you remove the magnets, you normally put the weights in, or, you know, just to get the balance back, because magnetic force does produce a lot of downforce, as was seen in DNA's, when he was testing that mag. What is that?
How much magnetic force your motor has, what that measures. If you pull the magnets out and you weigh the car and you set it to 0 and you put the car on, that's without magnets, obviously, and then that's what that really measures, is magnetic downforce on the motor. That also measures the magnets as well, but it's kind of really why even have it. I mean, the whole point of that is to take the magnets out and see how much magnetic force the motor has. I mean, but
so we got Ragtop Pat, who says, new slot cars still, but one thing I've learned is running mag cars and tuning mag cars isn't for everyone. It can be a bit tricky to get a handle on it.
Magnets, there's a saying that magnets hides all cars' sins. That's what it does. And you can, you know, chew the tires and stuff, but I mean, in essence, when you leave magnets in, that's the only tuning really you could do is put a better guide and better tires. But otherwise, it's all hidden by the handling of the car is all hidden by the magnet because the magnet traction's gripping the car. But once you, it's a different story when you're moving.
All right. Here's Slot God Daddy. Magnets are great equalizers to downforce needed for high speed. Don't want to drift. I'll take the mag out. To each his own as long as you're racing. That's right. Well, we'll turn to Marty. Marty, you've done a lot of. You've gone from being a mag racer, digital for a very long time, and then slowly progressed to, and you still do mag a little bit. I think I'm not too sure.
Right.
But now you just enjoy analog a lot more because it gives you, I guess, the satisfaction, just like building a slot car, of tuning a slot car to that level, right?
Right. Yeah. So when I started, I could not imagine driving a slot car without magnets. So probably the first almost year, it was just all magnet racing and digital racing. And then we went to Cincy Slots and got to experience cars that were tuned really well. And that was a game changer for us. And so we really wanted to move outside of Carrera cars, really is where it started, and try Slot It and try Thunder Slot and NSR and Scale Auto and all these other brands. And we were chipping every car. And that was getting expensive. And so there was this draw to analog just to save some money from chipping. And we noticed that we were destroying those cars, running them with magnets and running them digitally. And so for me, if we're going to do digital racing, I'm all about 124 scale. We run no magnets, even the Carrera scale, one digital. But the 132nd scale cars, when we run them digital, we run magnets, just because the pit entry, run stars magic to a chicane yet, to make that pit entry a little easier. So I mean, we have so many crashes with no mag cars digitally coming into the pits. So we run magnets when we run digital. We run when we run analog, we run no magnets. It's a little easier on cars. You spend enough money on cars, you hate to destroy them too much. But we have dedicated magnet cars, dedicated digital cars, and that's how we roll. We talk a lot about this on my live stream on Tuesday nights, it seems like. And I always say, run whatever makes you happy. Yep. Like if you find enjoyment in running magnets, run magnets, man. Like the whole argument and the controversy, I don't think it's as big as everybody makes it out to be. I get it when you go to a commercial track, there's certain things that they do and you do at a commercial track and I get it. But I feel like at home track, run what makes you happy. And like George said, like when the grandkids come over, I don't have grandkids yet, but hopefully one day I do. And like, they will have mag cars so they can just, pull the trigger and go. And if they yes as well, then they'll move into going to be with slot cars. So when my daughters come home, we run magnets digital because that's what they love about jumping on the track. They don't have any interest in running the analog stuff. So yeah, it's whatever makes you happy.
What do you think, Dave? You want to throw your weight around the ring here? Let's see what happens.
My substantial weight. Yeah, I'm probably the opposite of just about everybody else because my first slot car track was wood, and so I didn't run any magnets. And when I first built the track, when I first got into it, almost 20 years ago now, a little over 20, close to 20, I wanted the cool wood track because I wanted to do scenery and do all those things, right? So I researched and I did all that stuff. It's how I came across, Home Racing World and Slot Car Illustrated and all those places. I researched and decided wood's for me. So I built this big, huge wooden track. And first time I put a car on there, I was so excited, and the car ran like shit. I was like, what's going on? I can't make this car go anywhere, Well, Well, then I figured it out and I started again researching and I learned how to tune the cars. And I was like, wow. And so then I got really good. I could drift them and I could do all these things that you really can't do with a magnetic, car. So then I said, okay, well, everybody goes on and on about magnetic. Let's see what the fuss is all about. So I started accumulating the Revell track back then. And I put a big track together and I slapped some Carrera cars with magnets on them. And I went and I hated it. I really did not enjoy it because the cars were just glued to the track, rocket speed, no drifting. If you thought you were going to try to drift, you just launched the cars across the room. And I was like, nope, this ain't for me. And I went back to non-mag. So I have a very small window of time where I played with magnet cars. And but again, that's just my experience. I feel like what Marty just said, run whatever the hell makes you happy. If you want to, if you want to do Carrera Go with loop-de-loops in it, by all means, knock yourself out and do that because that is what makes you enjoy the hobby. So there's no right or wrong when it comes to magnet, non-magnet, silicone, rubber. We could do this all day long. It's all what works good for you and on your track. Period. That's it.
That's it. Well done. Let's go. No, just kidding. But it's true. It's true. So anyway, here we go. Sunday Slockout says, since you guys are feeling boring and driving for heat, and the question should be, what would you run as a club organizer? I think it comes down to who your members are, I think. Section. Sorry, what did you say, George?
We want Billy to run the magnet club.
Yeah, I guess it would be cool to have a little of each. If you had the space for it, it'd be cool to have one plastic track ready for magnets and another wood track where you were just running non-mag. And like you say, whatever you like to do. Me personally, if I was doing it, I have a big wood track with no magnets. That's just what I like. So.
Yeah. So I mean, Marty, you talked about. Like with 132nd cars without the magnets, they have trouble with, I guess, the digital pit lane entry.
Yeah.
What about changing lanes? If they're in a curve, I guess it would give them a little bit of trouble because they kick out a lot, right? Right. To get the full immersive experience on the digital 132nd, I think mag cars normally do really well. And I believe that because when we run full cars on our track at the same time, I can't see people racing with non-mags digital at a 132nd scale. 124th I haven't tried yet, but definitely I'll give it a go. So I think it really comes down to...
Well, the 124s are a little slower.
Yeah. Let's see. Anyway, Danny, how are you?
I'm good.
So we'll come back to our topic, but Danny, how's your week been? What have you been doing hobby-wise?
Week's been all right. I was sick for a few days, so I'm still trying to get over that a little bit. Well, my whole, sinus infection or something, it had me all messed up. But otherwise, it's been all right. Got the CNC table in yesterday. So happy about that. I've sent pictures to a few of you guys. So some of you have seen it.
Yeah, looks good.
Got my wheels in for my midget so I can hopefully get that done. And I think it's probably about all I've done, really.
Yeah. Well, you did set up an oval. 4-lane oval.
I did. I did that on Saturday. I was cleaning up the garage a little more to make room for that table, and I saw the tote that I put my track in, and I was like, well, I'm going to go through that. And so I did, and I ended up having enough pieces, enough 330 turns and 230s, so I could make a 4-lane. I think it ended up being 5 foot by 16 foot, I think is what it ended up being. So I spent 4 hours Saturday. My wife had to come get me out in the garage. She's like, do you want to go get some Mexican food? I was like, I guess I can quit for that. So we went and ate, and then I come back and started running again. So, and then I ended up going live, I think Saturday night. And I took it back down. I put it up yesterday so we had room to put that table in there and not walk on it. I didn't want to step on it or anything. So, but I'll put it back up.
Ragtop Pat, no.
Yeah, no. Ragtop Pat.
Don't even.
I don't think any of the people right here on screen actually say no to magnets or look down on magnetic cars. No. And I don't think anyone
I have a bunch of them myself, so I look down on them.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. I have magnetic cars too. Absolutely.
Well, if I was to pull out all the magnets from all the Carrera cars I have, I'd have a mountain of magnets, and I wouldn't know what to do with it. So they're staying where they are. So,
with the amount of magnets you got over there, Raul, I think you might be affecting the tides and things like that around here with the magnets.
Hey, man, you guys, I still remember last week George bought. Not only did he buy 12 cars for himself, he also shipped you some too, Dave. So,
he did, yes.
So I don't know who's gotten more magnetic downforce happening on it, because I'm pretty sure George has quite a bit behind him, or not there in his other room, whatever. Yeah. So, it's pretty good. So,
when I ran on the oval, I ran both. It was kind of weird though, because one of the cars that probably should have had magnets, I had the magnets out of it, which was that Carrera Crossbow, which I don't know why I love that car. I love the way that it drives and handles without magnets in it. So
yeah,
and then that
plus it's a great looking car, man.
It doesn't have any magnets, but my NSR Fiat Bart, it had magnets in it, but that car's so freaking fast. Which none of those really have any tuning except for that Carrera car.
Yeah, my favorite non-mag car was MR Slot Cars, the GT1, until this car. The Scale Auto cars, these Vipers, they're my favorite non-mag car. I love these cars with no mags in them. And the only thing you got to do is remove the spring from the guide, because otherwise it just pops up.
I've got a Scale Auto Corvette up there that I still need to build.
Yeah, so I think different cars have a different feel to them, and some of them are cool with mags and some of them are not. I have no problems with mag, non-mag. I think at the end of the day, like we all said, like if you're having fun with it, when people don't know how to drive and you put the non-mag car on the track and they struggle, it gets boring real quick, right? So it really depends on whether you want to push your skill level or not, or what you're trying to do. If you're just having fun with your friends and you want to put 4 cars on the track and go nuts, I think mag racing is fun. There's a lot more damage, but as long as you understand that.
I tried getting the kids out there on the 4-lane, but they changed something in Fortnite, and so they've been die hard. Won't leave their rooms. They come out here to eat dinner and they'll have it gone in 5 seconds and they're gone. And all you hear is yelling and screaming, and I'm like, shut up, But no, I ran out there by myself.
Yeah. My mag cars get about the same tune as my non-mag cars. The difference in non-mag cars' weight in the non-mag car and turning down the voltage so the non-mag cars will run better. Yeah, I think. You make sacrifices when you go from a mag to non-mag car, right? Because one, there's more involved in the tuning process, so obviously you're gonna put more into the car sometimes. Weight balance becomes more tricky without the magnets because once again you've affected the balance of the car by removing the magnets, and you might be shifting it forward or back or side to side. So there's a lot of little things that happen after you remove the magnet from a car, unless a car comes on.
One thing you need to remember is when you do remove the magnet from the car, a lot of people have this conception that you could run it at 800 volts.
Yeah.
Wood tracks really generally are 10 volts. I mean, you could cook it up a little bit if you want, turn it up a little if you want to do some fast lap times, but in reality, it's always 10 volts. And I think when people pull the magnets out, they're at a high voltage and they go like this and it goes, and you have to realize that it's not, you have to turn the voltage down. So, I mean, you can eventually turn it up a little bit after you tune it more and more, but in reality, usually I run 10 volts on my track, to be honest, on analog. So maybe 11, but usually 10. That's what you should go about.
Yeah. Well, I think Carrera Digital runs, 14.8?
14.8.
Yeah, and then you got 18 for the 124s.
Yeah, 1889 for 124. I can't remember.
Yeah, something.
Like that.
Yeah.
You remember, you're pulling that. You're also pulling that magnetic downforce, so you need some power to move the car because it's a planet, so that'll create a drag.
Yeah, John Albright here says when tuning up for a non-MACK car, a car that handles well at 14 volts is a breeze to drive at 12 volts. I think so.
That's on his track, though.
Yeah, on plastic. Well, I think you probably get more traction on your wood track with the painted surface, so that would make more sense to me. That wood tracks would run a little less.
John's really good at tires. He's advising me on a lot of tires and good advice too. And he's got the hardest surface to hook onto, scale-electric track. That's one of the toughest surfaces to get hooked up to. So he's really good at it. So he's got I think any other surface he can master pretty easily because scaling track is the toughest one to get the hook up.
Yep. So Dave, have you ever driven a MACK car on plastic track or anything? Because you said you always so you have.
Yeah, in fact, I do. I still do it now because you guys see how I do it right now by setting up that little track on my table here.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to drag out the Carrera vintage NASCARs with the magnets still in them and run them on here, and like George, I usually run my track around 10, 11 volts, but with the mags in there, I can crank it up to 12. And it's fun. The kids like it because, especially my son, I would race the hell out of them and zing them around the track real good. And so I still fool. I do it. I just prefer not, but I still do it with magnets.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, if you want to see a fast car, that damn MR slot car, the Shadow with the magnet in it, holy crap, that car is a rock.
Yeah, so Chris Freda says here, coming from the Etro slot car world, we run magnets. I'm slowly weaning myself off magnets. My wife, on the other hand, has a heavy thumb, so she gets the super magnets. There you go. Hopefully she's not watching. Yeah, I think it's good to try. I think you have to try both, and then you find your sweet spot. I know with the 124 cars, they come with two magnets on them, right, Marty? So they come with the front and the back magnet. So I've seen, I think I forget. I think it's one of the 124 series I've noticed they only remove one of the magnets. I think it's the front or I don't know which one, but it allows the cars to slide out a bit more. Do you remove both magnets when you race at Cincy?
Yeah, Cincy's rules require you to remove both. So
okay,
but I could see where just removing one would loosen the car up a little bit, and it's the digital race at 124 is just it's chaos, man. So with magnets, no magnets, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of room for those cars on the track, and it's demo derby.
Yeah, Bull, you're absolutely correct. It's all in the sake of fun, for sure. And this is a discussion that's just fun to have. I mean, if you get a bunch of slaughter heads in a room, it's going to come up. So might as well have it.
I think more importantly than MAG, non-MAG is the choice of controller. I see a lot of people talking about hitting it, the thumb. I don't know how the hell you guys race with those damn Carrera thumb controllers. To me, they're just freaking on-off switches, and there's no control, there's no sensitivity, there's nothing. Just on.
Wait a second. Are you watching the Global Racing League? Come on, Dave.
Yes,
we have to control those cars. We have to control those cars.
I have been watching you. You guys do. I have been watching you. Yes, and I'm just saying that if every one of you switched to even a low-end good controller, like
it's not in the budget, Dave. Next year, okay? Next year, we only get a $200. We only get $200 to spend per year on the Global Racing League. That's it. We're budget capped, man. Yeah, okay. but it's fun. You see, we have 10 racers on the Global Racing League, and only 2 of us are still completing 10 laps. Everyone else fallen off so far, so it's pretty interesting. It's funny, like short tracks like that with no borders and no barriers. It gives you some intense racing, especially when you have cutthroat rules. I wonder who came up with
yeah.
those. Anyway.
Well, yeah, like I said, I've been watching you guys, and I sometimes I cringe. I see you guys are using thumb controllers, magnet cars, no barriers, no guardrails, no nothing. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I would just the cars would be flying off into the outer space if I was doing that.
It's back to like the day you got your first slot car set and you took it out.
Like
That's what it is.
10 years
You
old,
don't have
I'm
much.
running on the living room floor, launching cars as far as you can launch them. Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
It's rough. I'm telling you. Like I have, I've been. Well, we all get spoiled after a while, right? Like. Marty, can you imagine going back to the analog thumb controller? Like it's ridiculous. After your DeFalco, you're like, where's my sensitivity? Where's my stuff? Right? Like it's crazy, right?
I love my DeFalco.
I do. That controller is fantastic.
Yeah. So I was like, it'd be interesting. I mean, we're just finishing up round 2, and then we're going to round 3, and we get our first upgrades, right, for this season, which is just the guide flag and the rear tires, right? So you get your Paul Gauge tires, which is what everyone chose. So it'd be interesting to see how it goes from here. But I know poor Gene. Gene just after one lap, it was tough. It was tough.
Oh, Gene.
Sorry, Gene. But it's interesting. You know what's really funny is that like Global Racing League, it takes you back to basics. You know, in a very hard way, it takes you back. Like I'm tense when I race my 10 laps, especially now when it's just me and John Tucci going at it, and both of us haven't dislotted yet. So like we're the only guys who complete 10 laps every round. So it's like now the pressure's on. But anyway, it's fun. I think and that's the bottom line here, was like getting people to race in their own homes on the same tracks with the same set of cars. It's fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And I think that's what it's all about at the end of the day. No matter if you deslot in the first lap or the 9th lap, Billy and Amanda have the greatest rivalries ever. I love watching them. You know, it's and that's really where I feel like so proud. It's like just the fun that's happening, you know? So definitely.
Yeah.
Let's see. But yeah, so maybe that's an interesting thing, because we've talked about upgrading for next year, maybe removing the magnets and running the same things again, you know, just taking the same cars, removing the magnets and doing the same tracks. But we need to get borders for that. So do we spend our money on borders, or we spend our money on controller? So see, these are the things that we have to decide as a very budget sensitive league, which is really what I wanted to create. You know, just like F1 has budget caps, we need budget caps to keep the hobby growing, but keep it manageable, right? I think that's cool and it's different. But we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. Yeah. So I don't know. Danny, you haven't weighed in on this mag, non-mag issue. We've been waiting.
You want my opinion?
Yeah, there you go. Let's go. He moved up towards the camera.
I was going to say, what's that all about? Do you want my opinion?
Yeah, no. Did you see that?
You challenging me, dude?
Throw the magnets in the trash and learn how to drive.
Oh
shit.
Hey.
Here we go.
Here we go. Gloves are off.
Shut the chat off, quick.
Kill the chat.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
don't lie. You kidding. You stood up and came right on the camera.
Who am I to say that? I'm one of those guys with the thumb controller right now. Okay? Now, I will say, with that thumb controller, I'm not doing too bad.
No, you're not.
No. Getting around. You're making some
You
good
gotta
laps.
find that
I like that Elva going
spot
around.
where when you let off just a little bit, it slows down but doesn't completely break, and then you keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's pretty. Like I said, like the mag non-mag is a non-issue, to be honest. To be quite fair, I don't really care. But it was just something that, you know, every time we put it up, it was interesting just to see everyone's reaction when I put up the post. Mag was not, and like everyone's like, "Oh, here we go again. Here we go again."
You know, it's like the comment Jeff G made a moment ago. If it wasn't for magnets, beginners wouldn't be into slot karting, and that's how you get into it. So, I mean, the beginner does need the magnets. It's a important, because
That's right.
otherwise you'd put the car on and it'd be like a polycar F1 when you don't tune it. They'll just fly right off, and then you'll just want to stick it in a box and just give up. So the magnet part is important for people that are beginning to get into stock cars.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to what you said, George, earlier. It's all a progression in the hobby.
Yeah.
You start someplace, and then you progress, and that's part of the progression.
Right.
So,
And see, here's the progression part. I've been talking to Dave about this, so I'm going to let you guys know. I'm thinking of maybe replacing the track downstairs with one of Kevin's tracks.
Oh.
But I talked to him about doing it with the digital, and he says that's possible. But the one thing that I did point out to Kevin, and he did fix this, was that when we were using his track over at Racetrack Scenics, the depth of the slot was 6 millimeters. And cars like, slot 8s with real short guides ran real great, but when I put some of the rivos on with deep wood guides, it wouldn't run. It would just kind of de-slot because the slot wasn't deep enough. So I mentioned to him, Kevin, can you go a little deeper on the slot, because I have 7 millimeter on my oval, and you're like at 6, and that's really kind of like a problem. I mean, he says, well, the material has to be thicker, and he did get back to me. He told me, well, I did find something to make it work, to make it 8 millimeters deep. And I go, oh, that'll be perfect. So that you'll get, the thing is that's the one thing was kind of what I didn't like, because now you have to change all these guides. You kind of want to be able to put any car in there and run it. So he did fix that. He found a fix for that. And his next setup will be that way. So, because I couldn't run any of the cars that I brought. And I was just mentioning it to him. Kevin's he's the kind of guy that he listens. He wants to listen to the people that actually are the hobbyists. That's what he really aims at, and that's good. And going to that track, it was really exciting. It was fun. And, Dave pointed out, like on the straight, how it should be longer to where it becomes more elliptical. But he did that as a test, the way he set that one up. So it's hard to pass on that track, but it doesn't mean you have to get it that way. But we talked about the different, areas that should be spaced and stuff. And again, I think that's something I may want to do, because I would like to go to a wood surface and maybe keep the digital. It'd be kind of cool, but I'm not sure, because that would remove the magnetic part, because you'd be having braid instead of stainless steel rail. So it's kind of or maybe I should just go all wood and just dump the digital altogether. So I'm thinking here and there. So we'll see what happens.
you could go magnetic braid on that.
Yeah, I could, and that's the progression part right there. See, there's a step. Area 51's been with me for a long time. When I first set that track up, I mean, I had fun with it a lot, and I still do. But I think about, well, maybe I could go, 3 lanes and just not have 124 scale cars on there, because that's what the current footprint is. It's so wide. And maybe make it a little bit more fun, so I could have a road course, because the F1 cars and all the other cars, they really do need a road course. Harry has a road course. That's why he has that, because the oval's fine, but when you have Group C cars and F1 cars, they do need a road course, because that's what they're really made to go around a road course. So that's kind of what my thinking is of the whole thing. So we'll have to see what happens.
That's cool. So he is going to have road course options for that?
Yeah, the next track he'll be doing, so I was trying to talk to you, but I know we got busy on your stream. So what he wants, sorry to take over here, Raul, on this.
Oh, go for it, man.
So what he wants to do, the next one's going to be a rally track. He's making a rally road course. And then the next one after that is going to be a regular road course. But he may be redoing that first oval. Again, Kevin wants to have 3 tracks, and he wants to have, showcase the options on what you can get. Awesome. And you could design your own track if you want. You just have to send him what your specs are, and he could, talk with you and what you want. I know that the first track that one is available now if you wanted to get it. And his whole point with this whole modular system is that other places like MACK tracks and other ones, there's a lot of backlog for them, because their tracks are actually very large pieces, and they're done differently than what he does. With the modular on, he's trying to get it faster out to people. So all I have to do is, put the track together, paint it. It comes with the borders and all that. But the only thing is you'll have to supply your own track wiring, which is easy, and you'll have to lay your own braid. You could either use braid or copper tape. It's your option, so what you want to do. But, I mean, the braiding part and the electrical part, to me, is by far the easiest part of it. I did a video on the slot car corner kit, and that kit is fantastic. It's so simple. Everything's laid out for you. There's nothing difficult in it. Putting your own tape and braid is the easiest part of it, too. Would you agree, Dave?
Yeah, I think so.
It's not hard, and then he's already done all the routing because it's laser routed. That's, to me, that's the most tough part, is routing. If that's all done, and you just put it together and just braid it and electrical it, and put your power supply and your controllers, and you're ready to go. I mean, that'd be cool to see how he offers that, and looking forward to seeing the next tracks, because that's I want to go out. You want to go out there when he's getting those ready. But yeah, I talk with him on and off, so we'll see what he's. I'll be bugging him next week to see about going over to see what he's doing. So
yeah, it's pretty cool. The track was really cool.
It was fun. Those squeezes on the one part was fun because you come pretty close. It's entertaining. It teaches you how to really pass and everything. Though some of the things are not perfect on it, but I mean, it was fun.
Yeah, so this is something that Gene says, I like the concept. I'm a fan of squeeze tracks. And I think that's something that I showed a couple of people the track as well, and they had the same thing. There's no place really to overtake. You can and you can't, like in certain sections, so it was a little bit... That was the only thing.
That was my suggestion on that track, was he just had the squeezes. He needed to make that third lane more elliptical, and it needed to be at least away from that outside lane and closer to the inside lane on one side, so there's somewhere to pass in a straight. The way he had it, there was nowhere to pass on the straight. If you were behind that car in the outside lane, you are not getting around. So he just needed to do that, and I think George said that he took that to heart and he was going to redo something like that. Me personally, I don't like squeeze tracks. On my very first wood track, I was all gung-ho, and I put everything you could imagine that they made. I wanted it all. I wanted a hairpin. I wanted a squeeze track. I put it all on there, and I didn't like it because I spent more time chasing cars than than I did racing, because they get to that squeeze and nobody's going to give. You're all going for it, and bam! Next thing you know, you got 3 cars off the track. So I would.
By the way, I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes.
Another thing too is that surface, the urethane tire ran even better than the rubber tire. That was the one that really surprised me, because when I put the scratch films on, I was like, "Holy smokes! This thing is like, it's hanging on great." And I mean, I don't know if maybe it's the way because he did sand it down, and the paint was just what I used, regular gray paint, but it seemed like the urethane really took a lot. How would you say, better to it than the rubber did? But I know that Kevin is using the quality grade furniture MDF. Now there's a difference. You have the MDF you buy at Home Depot, like I did, which is good enough. But then you have the furniture quality stuff, which is more, it's more for the sheet. So it's going to be more, how would you say, it's more water resistant. Not that you want to sink it in water, but it's more of a furniture grade, more durable and stuff, because it's able to take the laser cutting better. And this is why he goes with that material. And that's why a lot of this racetrack seating buildings are that material, is the furniture quality stuff. So it's not cheap MDF. It's a little bit, that's why I'm thinking why the price is a little bit more, because of the material that he's using.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So Sunday Slot Car says if you put a lane change system on that track, it would be game changer for wood tracks. So that.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I'm really thinking of it too. We'll have to see what happens. I'm just kind of throwing ideas in the air. But yeah, it'd be pretty cool to keep it maybe the same footprint and do that.
Thank you, Bill. Like and subscribe. Doesn't matter. Like and subscribe for the next 6 episodes, and then unsubscribe and run away.
Right. And then they're gonna be, where the hell did this guy go?
uh, so I love the hairpin on my layout. I don't know if you guys saw the new layout I created, but I love the hairpin at the bottom of that corkscrew. I think it's so awesome, and I was so surprised that my cars could take that pretty much at full pop. Even the non-matte car, just the drift is amazing. So I'm just looking at it from a videography standpoint. It's going to be so cool drifting a car around that. So I love that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Have we whipped the non-mag issue? I think
Yeah,
we've done
I
that
think we
already.
have.
Yeah.
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 I think
Let's
Talking
move
about
on.
other-
Yeah, let's move on to see.
Silicone and rubber. Oh, sorry.
Hey.
Here's
We'll
the
do-
family program.
Well, I mean,
That's
look
next
at it
week.
this way. We can talk about that. Just look at Marty's aspect. Marty runs silicone on his track. Cool. I run rubber. Other guys will run urethane. It's just a matter of preference, And for example, the slot car addicts in North Carolina, which those guys are strictly all rubber. They won't. Rob Fowler won't let anything on his track but rubber. He won't let a silicone tire on there or even a urethane. And that's just his preference. He just prefers a rubber tire. It's just people have their preferences of what they want to run on their surface. I think silicone's a great idea for plastic, how Marty's doing it, because those cars run great. And then, you have what I run, urethane on the oval, which I like that more than anything, because I like the action of which it is, the dirt action of the slide. That's what you're getting, that drift. That's what makes it fun. So it's just the level of what you are looking for and what fun aspect you want out of your track.
Hey, Daryl's in the house. Hey, Daryl, how are you? Yeah, so I think
Hey,
we always have these polarizing statements in slot car world, right? Mag versus non-mag, silicone versus urethane, wood versus plastic. It's pretty cool. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter as long as you're putting cars down, running on two rails, and having a lot of fun. I think it's the laughs, the experience, the joy of a car, whether it's a ready-to-run car or a handmade car like George and Shotgun Dave. At the end of the day, it's
Marty,
whatever. Huh? Marty and Danny. Actually, I'm I'm the only guy who hasn't built a car yet, so I'll just whatever.
Your time's coming.
Well,
I've
I
technically
think so.
only finished one.
But you've had.
But you've done it.
I know I've got them laying all over here, not finished, but
Oh, there was a pickup truck I saw this weekend. I'm gonna wait till I do it justice and show you, Danny. The guy has a couple of them. He actually loves building drag pickup trucks. He had so many there; it was unbelievable. So anyway, we'll talk about that another time.
Drag chassis is a whole different animal. He uses silver solder because they go fast and you launch them into a pillow. So they need to be really sturdy.
Yeah, they do bracket racing, so it's all bracketed.
Yeah, that's why they use silver solder because they go real fast.
Yeah. All right. So, what else do we want to talk about? New cars? Anyone got new cars? I always like talking about new cars.
There's a question there by Kirby Road there. Urethane, XPG or PGT?
I use PGT.
PGT.
I don't care for the XPG.
XPG is what? Short 20 and under?
Yeah, they're really soft.
Softer tire.
I'll be right back, guys. My alarm's going off.
Okay.
I'll
No worries.
see.
All right. Oh, boy, that's not good. Shit. So soft tires, really for wood, for if you're doing oval racing or something like that, I don't use them. I tried them. I don't really care for them. I like the firm ones better. That's just
I found my cars would chatter in the corners really bad with the really soft tires, so I don't like them.
Yeah. So, have you guys built drag cars before?
Not
Not
yes,
for
I built a
commercial,
couple of drag cars, but not like those. Not commercial drag cars, no.
Okay.
They're pretty. They're really nice, but that's not my cup of tea. I give the guys a lot of credit that do it because it takes more, dedication to make it look like a model, the way it looks. They're beautiful. but preferably no.
Yeah, Daryl. Somebody wants Marty slot cars to come to his house with the slot cars. Oh, it's hilarious. Well, yeah, talking about that, like, I mean, poor Pete, he lost his whole, like, camera bag this past weekend.
How do you do that?
Just, you know, went, was traveling, got to a stop, the dog had to get out to do his business. I guess he unpacked his stuff, and when he packed it back in, when they drove off, he realized when he got to the next stop that his backpack was missing, and drove back and was all gone. So it's been a rough weekend for Pete, but you know, I don't know. It's rough. It's rough. I mean, if I lost my camera equipment, I think I'd cry more than if I lost my slot car collection. That's the truth. Like I just love my camera so much, so I could feel for him. But yeah, he's got a new camera now. So yeah, we'll see Pete back. He's good. But he also lost his footage and stuff, so that's kind of rough. Yeah, that's rough. There you go. Chris Freda got the new NSR Toblerone Porsche 908
Yeah, I like that Toblerone car.
You seen that new NSR? What was it? The motor. That's it.
Yeah, the brushless with the ESC.
Only 300 euros for that motor, and then another 100 for the electronic speed controller.
So 400.
So it's $400 for them.
Well, I don't know. I think 300 euros is
I think it's crazy because there's guys right now doing brushless stuff already that don't cost near that much. So
Yeah, no. I mean, you can buy. You can buy. You can.
I saw the price. I was like, yeah, man.
Like,
you can buy a drone. You can buy a drone with a brushless motor for like $140. I mean, the only thing I'm missing is the ESC for that. I mean, what's the difference between that motor and the one that NSR's got? I have no idea. I don't think there's much difference.
Yeah, you can buy the individual brushless motors. Like, you can get them on Amazon for $15-$20.
They're cheap.
And then the ESCs, I can't remember I have it saved because I'm going to order one of the ESCs, but it's already ready for a slot car. So for, I think, right around $100, maybe a little less, you could get the ESC, the motor, the bracket, and all that. So, I mean, it's really not as bad as what NSR is doing. I don't know what they're doing.
I have zero interest in that stuff.
Yeah, and I understand. Like, there's no... I don't think there's a need for brushless motors in slot cars. No. But it's interesting. The only thing that is really interesting for me on that side is programming the ESC. Because with the program, you can actually write a map file. So... You know how when we control the trigger with when you do slot car racing, with an ESC that's electronically controlled, you can actually write the map into that, right? So you can get more control on that, on the feel of the trigger, right? That's the difference. But I mean, that's for elite racing. But $400 for a motor and a set, I don't think so.
It's kind of like,
did they come for your slot cars, Marty?
It's all good. False alarm.
Oh, they didn't come for your slot car. Sorry,
it's kind of like going from a carbureted engine to EFI when it comes to regular slot car motor to the brushless stuff, because you have way more control over the brushless, as with a regular motor. You use the controller to control. You get the adjustable controller with the brakes and all that, so you can control that. With the ESC, you can go on the computer and you can tune that ESC so that motor does what you want it to. You can have it, start off kind of slow and then ramp up, or if you're drag racing, you can have it instant. It is crazy.
Our LS are slot cars, basically.
I know Dave's over here with this little.
Yeah,
that's what your finger is for, man. You buy a nice
good controller, it's thumb, Dave.
That's what your finger is for. You get,
it's thumb, Dave.
Get the feel of it. Hey, you better watch it, or I'm going to go get my new driver figure and show everybody.
Hey, yeah, bring that over. Come on, Dave. Why is that? Bring it over. You got to show that.
And you know what?
Hey,
That's good
Dave
stuff.
over at Slot R, he named him for me today.
Oh yeah.
Yes, his name is Philip DeBird.
I like that one, but you gotta show it now. You can't just talk about it and not show it. So you're on the hook
Let me
now.
go get him.
Yeah.
Let me go get him.
So you guys were talking about the NSR brushless.
Yeah, the brushless. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to weigh in there, Marty?
Well, I just think that, I mean, they had a nice article about why it costs what it costs. Again, I don't see that for a home track. I mean, I understand electronic speed controllers for RC and having to be able to control the motor. I just think that it's a price point that's just not made for a home track or even a club track. It's just priced out of that. But it's
gotta
cool
move it
tech, and
back
I think
towards you, Dave. Bring it closer towards you. No, the other way. The other way. You gotta. You know what? Let's give Dave his. Wait, Dave. Just stay there.
Yeah.
Don't move. Don't move now. 1 second.
Widen him up.
There you go, Dave. Show it off.
Yeah, that looks like my Dio, man. I look like my uncle.
This is
That's hilarious.
this is
It's
Thumbs Up
George's
Man's
uncle.
American cousin.
Yeah.
This is Philip DeBird.
Philip the bird.
Philip.
Oh,
That's great.
Great.
that's hilarious.
Okay, now that I've
Too funny.
offended everybody, sorry.
I haven't offended anyone.
Oh, wait.
This is not
Adult.
this is not a Pete's live stream. So
Yeah, no, I know.
yeah. Like right now, don't care. Let's just do it, whatever it is. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I thought that's what the control was for technically.
That's
Yeah,
better than
for
betting.
sure.
He has Phil the Bird has replaced the Towel Girl.
Wow. There you go. I don't know. Now you need to do a female character that's doing that.
You know, I have a whole box of these. I have 2 boxes of these. They're 1/24 scale figures, and they're actually mechanics figures, is what they were. And I just sort of used different heads and arms and legs, and then of course I had to adjust a hand there a little bit to make him give the bird. But I think I have enough to make another one. I just might make a mold. I could probably make $1 million selling those guys. What do you think?
Hey, you need
Yeah.
to make a female one. Candy
That's
cantaloupes. That'd be a good one right there.
Cantaloupes.
I ran across one guy making figures overseas somewhere, and he's got figures where they're like, you got a couple hanging it. They're like, over a garbage can or whatever.
Careful,
they're
family
like
here.
getting it on, or over a hood of a car. In the
Watch
background,
out, eh? The
getting it on
fingers
there.
is a moderator. He might just stop you dead in your tracks.
There's all kinds of crazy stuff.
Content warning.
Oh, content warning. Already we got a content warning
From
strike,
the
okay?
fingers.
From the fingers. Here you go. There you go. Strike 1.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go. You have people already lining up to buy them. Come on, Dave.
I know. I see this over here. You know what? I can even make a British version where he's got both fingers up, giving you the old bollocks, Like, how is it?
Flux.
All right. Yes, now we've got the sign language. Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, Marty, what new cars you got? You always got new cars nowadays. I have to look.
Let's see. I don't think I don't have any new cars that belong to me, but I've got a couple borrowed cars. Hang on.
It was so funny. I was watching Marty's old video. Marty, I was watching one of your old videos where you were redoing your track. I think it was when you had 2 bridges on. It was one of your earlier videos, and I was smiling because there's only like 4 or 5 cars on your track there. Now he's got a whole shelf.
Got a whole shelf.
Yeah,
So Daryl, the last time I was racing, he sent me home with this Slotted.
yeah.
It's a Nissan.
Yeah.
It's in like this flat black. This thing
Yeah.
screams around the track. It's no
Yeah, they're
mag.
fast. Frank
an
had
angle
that
winder.
at the racetrack scenic. He was racing that. That thing is fast.
It is a
Fast car.
great car. Yeah, if anybody's wanting something just a little different, I guess this is probably a GT1 car, maybe GT3, maybe. It
I
probably
think I
says on
have
the
the
bottom.
green version of that car.
Do you?
Yeah.
And then this is a sideways
Oh,
nice. GT, Ford GT.
Ford GT. I
I
think they have a new
Yeah.
livery coming out on that one.
Yeah, they do. They have
Yeah.
the Motorcraft.
Yeah.
But this is the Winds, and this car is fast. It's really nice.
Have you got a scale
It's a
auto yet, Marty?
I do.
Rawls
I have
is a scale
this.
on a pusher, just so you know.
Oh,
It's a white kit.
Yeah, that's
I'm
the white
working
kit
on.
you sprayed, didn't you? Oh no, you
Yep.
sprayed the Toyota one, didn't you? The white and orange.
I both of them. Yeah, and this is the Scale Auto white kit, the 963. And,
Yeah, how's
I
that
went with
working
green.
out?
Dude, that car, it's crazy fast.
Yeah.
I don't have it set up right. It still needs, still need to finish it. But I have run some laps with it, and it's a rocket ship. It's made for a big track. My track's not big enough for it.
Yeah. Larry here says, I don't have a lot of people that hardcore slaughters. Just a few have actually bought their own digital cars, so magnets are a must here. Yeah, I totally understand that because when I started, when I had my friends come around, and I think Marty's the same way. When we first started, I think digital, or just in general, magnet racing is just the way to start. Most people just take to it faster. So, yeah, so you got those two cars. Yeah, that Scale Autos. No, is it the NSR? Anybody, that NSR Jägermeister car is another car I really like the livery of. But,
That's true.
yeah. I'm waiting to see if NSR releases the P62 next year, the Ford. That would be something I'd jump on. Any cars that you're looking forward to getting next year, guys? Or looking at? I know George is done for this year shopping. He did it all last week or something.
Maybe.
Or maybe.
Just the pre-order 510s I'm looking forward to if they come out next year.
510s.
Yeah, the 510s. I think they'll come out in February, right? That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
I
They're
got them
coming out.
pre-ordered.
Yeah, anybody else get the pre-order? I got the pre-order. George got the pre-order. Shotgun Dave got the pre-order. Those things are sold out. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, if you're not going to get one if you don't pre-order it.
I think those are gonna sell like the Ferrari 512, the red one. That one sold like real
Gone.
fast. You can't even get that.
Yeah,
What car are we talking about?
The red one.
the Datsun
Datsun
510s from the Riva
Oh
slot.
yeah.
Yeah. Did you pre-order those, Marty?
Yes.
Yes, everyone did.
Group 2. Marty's Group 2!
Group 2, baby. Those Group 2 cars are a blast on my track.
Yeah.
I mean, they are just so competitive. They are so much fun to race.
They're neck and neck even. That's what's great about them. So your driving skills would rely on.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they're just fun.
Yeah, Dusty and I were talking about them, and with Daryl, the three of us were running laps a couple weeks ago, and they were so close. We were like, if anybody decides to cheat in that spec class, that Group 2 spec class, it's going to show up so fast because you just can't pull away from the rest of the cars. They're just all so even. So either somebody is a hell of a lot better driver than the rest of us, or they're cheating.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of those Group 2 cars, did you guys see Rob at Swift Slot's video this week of the Group 2 Alpha that he did, but he modeled it after his favorite Hot Wheel car?
I didn't watch it
I know
yet.
he's
No.
got a couple I need to look at, but I haven't seen
That car is gorgeous, man. That made me want to order that kit. Like right now, I want to order that kit and build a car like that. That car is beautiful.
Yeah,
He's
it
super
looks nice.
talented in putting cars together.
My God, it looked like a museum piece. And then he ran it on the track and he just drives the crap out of it. I was like, yeah, that's awesome.
Make it a hammer.
Yep, he was not even afraid to drive it. After spending all that time and effort to make it that gorgeous, he's just running the piss out of it. Just go, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, Chris, for sure. I want to get the P68s. It's the one car that I want to get from SR. Yeah.
The P68 is an easy
those
card
Rothmans
too.
look
It doesn't need
awesome.
much. A
Yeah.
tungsten weight in the center of it. John helped me out with that one. That thing rips.
Yeah, the
I
other
mean,
the other car I want to get is the new Porsche from BRM. I've seen a couple of them. I want to get one, but they're pricey. So,
here I'm really
yeah.
They have the
So
280Z coming out too. There's
Yeah,
pre-orders
that
for
looks
that.
pretty cool.
it's so funny, right? Like I was telling you guys, when I order now from Pendle because ordering from LEB cost me double, and Great Tradition for some reason ships well. I don't have a problem, but Pendle's lot. If I order more than one car at a time, I pay extra. If I order one car at a time, it's painful, but I don't have to pay extra when it lands. So it's whatever I paid is what I get at the door. So I've tested it a couple of times, and recently on the 2 Reaver slots I got, I had to pay duties. I was not happy.
Wow.
But if I ship only one at a time, so now it's all about getting one, shipping it, getting one, shipping it. So it's a pain in the neck. But
Does Canada have a lot of like trucks that transport? I mean, I don't know. I know it's a dumb question. I'm just
who
curious. They
knows?
have a lot.
As far
So
as
they
I'm
don't have what the
concerned,
United States have, which is a lot of trucking.
no. You guys have the best infrastructure ever. We have one
Yeah,
highway.
the
That's it.
trucks are the most important thing to transport goods.
Yeah.
I mean, if you eliminated trucking, everything would go to hell. It's not no rail anymore. That's why I was asking. I was thinking maybe you just don't have a lot of, shipping options.
Yeah. Anyway, we've beaten that dead horse to death. Anyway, so
It's the
but
Canadian horse.
I have now. It's like all my orders come trickling in, so I can't be like unboxing 10 cars at a time sometimes. So I feel jealous. I live vicariously through you, George. Now, so just letting you know. Oh yeah, the hippie Porsches are coming out. Then I think the last two of the 917s, right? That they released the first. They released the Pink Pig, and then there's two more, right? Is that what we're talking about here?
Right.
The hippie Porsche, yeah.
Hippy dippy.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know what else you guys want to talk about. We've been, what is it? An hour 30 in.
So I've been, I figured out there's a few more tracks around me, not directly, near me, but I've been invited a couple times by a guy named Kendall Spears to race at his HO track, and then I found out that Patriot Hobbies Matt, he lives in Little Rock, near Little Rock, so there's a couple more tracks. Which those are both HO guys, so which I have HO, so I need to get out to their tracks. It's just me not having a whole lot of time to do anything, but it's nice that eventually I've been finding out that there is more slot car stuff. It's just still over an hour away to be able to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Well, I was just talking to Gary, the gentleman that I met this weekend is Gary, and we were talking about how Toronto, being such a big city, has only one slot car racing facility, right? And that's Ernie's track, right? Otherwise, there's a lot of underground leagues, but you have to get an invite, and if you have to know someone to get in there, and then yeah, it's kind of difficult. I mean, I wouldn't have known if Gary didn't call me and actually find me on YouTube. Great for me. YouTube worked. That he's a big slaughterhead and he's 5 minutes from me, right? So when you have an opportunity to go visit people, like I think in 2 weeks, me and MP are going out to Sarnia to see Billy and Amanda and Frankie, who invited me to his house to race on his digital track. We just got to take that opportunity sometimes, because these are things that if you don't, then you can be very lonely, right? Being a slot car guy. So yeah, definitely. Like if you get an opportunity, you should definitely try and get out there, and mix and mingle. I mean, like when Pete goes, Pete's like within an hour of his home is like 200 tracks. Like it's crazy. Like have you ever seen the UK tracks? Like they light up the whole. Like there's no space for any more dots on the UK side of things. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The nearest track to me is over an hour or so. Yeah, what about Dave? Do you have tracks around you or no? None?
Nothing. Unless I want to go out to Electric Dreams, but
Yeah,
otherwise, there's nothing around.
I
right.
can't. I think near is it Sacramento? I think is where they do the HO freight cars. I know they do like a big league like every year in this convention center or something like that. Which I really like the freight cars because to me they're a lot like building a brass chassis, even though you're using an old T-jet. But the tuning and the things that go in building a freight car is to me just like scratch building. I mean, it is, but it isn't, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
But I know they do that out there. I don't know how close you are to Sacramento, Dave, but
About 12
Yeah,
hours.
quite a ways.
12 hours.
Yeah, it's a ways.
Yeah, it's
What
an
did
all day
Deleon do? Let's
event to
see.
go up there.
Down south, that's in Central California. The Central Valley.
I am almost to the
California
Mexican
is such a
border.
big-
I am literally
Yeah.
about 25, 30 miles outside of San Diego. So, I mean, I'm just right. I'm a few hours from the Mexican border here where we're at.
Gotcha.
Deleon, I don't believe you. Deleon says after the 510 from Sly Riva, I'm done. I don't believe
For
you.
that week.
We should bet.
that's
Yeah,
what I said for
exactly
that
for
week.
that week, maybe. But no. I love
Rainbow
the
Slot
figure.
pumps out cars like crazy, though. Now they're doing
my gosh.
another sports series. They're crazy, man. They're constantly. I mean,
It's impressive.
it's
What
like
the
crack.
Riva slot
Nice.
stuff?
Yeah, they just.
Yeah,
come
I'm
out
waiting
with
for those
some
Porsches. I don't know.
fantastic stuff. It's
Like I
kinda
need
hard to
all of
not
them.
wanna buy it.
Yeah, I'm afraid that I might need all those Porsches. Anyway, that's just. Yeah, I had a hard time with the Merc because I kept on putting all three into my cart, and I was like, I don't even race the three that I already have. I've never even opened them out of the box. I think I unboxed the white. Oh yeah, I unboxed this white one the other day on Slot Valley's. This is the first time I unboxed this one on Slot Valley's live stream. I had never unboxed it before. Like I have
That's a
the
great
silver one, the white one. They're all sitting in boxes. I was like, oh, and then so I put all three of the Mercs again, and I ended up buying the yellow Pro Mart one, just to go with the C63 I have, GT3 one. But yeah, I don't know. You can never stop. The problem with these cars, they look so good. It's just like
They're fantastic look.
it's like I have to stop myself and put that Momo 962 into my cart right now, or the Orca. Like it's so tempting. Like I want them, but it's like I'm never gonna. Like I have a rule now. I can't buy slot. I can't buy NSR. It's killing me, boys. I only made a contingency for that P68 for next year. Otherwise, like I don't know how I'm gonna last next year. I just gotta be careful. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Anyway, you guys got more stuff you guys want to ask us? Marty's back. Should I say that again?
I'm
Marty's
back.
back. Marty's back.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having me,
Get
guys.
back more.
Glad to have you back, Marty.
You're not.
Yeah,
You don't
I
have
missed
to
it.
thank us for having us back, man. You're always here. You're just always here. Yeah.
It's all good.
It's fun,
Yeah,
man.
right.
It's good to have the
Yes.
full house again. I appreciate all you guys. I think we're gonna call it. I guess there's not a lot more
good.
questions. We've been an hour and a half in.
Time for a smoke.
Okay, so Chris, yes, I want the Momo, but how is it different from the Fat Turbo? Or how is it different from the Hexel? I mean, it's the same car, right? Just a different livery. So
Well, the Hexcel's got the tall wing, and then the Fat Turbo and the Momo look like the same mold.
yeah, so I mean, I already have the Fat Turbo.
But
Do
it's
I
a
need the
different livery,
Momo?
man. That
Do I
Momo
need the
livery is
Momo?
beautiful.
Get out of here, this guy. No, you're not my crack dealer. Stop it.
That's right.
Oh, man. Oh, no. I don't need no Momo. All right, guys. Well, before Marty convinces me to go put some other stuff into my shopping cart, we're gonna wrap up tonight. Thank all of you for being here, and we'll catch you next week for another special. I don't know. We'll decide something. Maybe plastic versus wood or something. Who knows?
There you go.
Less
right,
filling
guys.
tastes great.
Yeah.
Less filling tastes great.
Coke or Pepsi?
Yeah, Coke or Pepsi.
Original Coke or
Brushless
new
versus
Coke.
non-brushless.
Yeah.
That's right.
Left Twix and right Twix.
There you go. I'm in for that one.
We can even talk about what we discussed today, but maybe we'll talk about that offline after we finish off.
Oh,
here.
we're not going there.
Yeah, we're going
Toy
there.
cars versus
The
real
after
cars.
party.
Toy cars versus real cars.
Okay.
There you go.
You want to
go.
do that, Daddy?
What was that?
Toy cars versus rail cars.
Toy cars. You mean like Carrera? Oh, damn. Did I say that out loud?
Oh no. It's okay. It's okay. But he's not talking about you guys. Stop it. Stop it. You're hurting their feelings. Oh, we can just talk about G slots. These things that have gone out of business, but they're so cool still.
We're going to talk about G-spots? Wait a minute. This is
Yeah,
not that kind of
G-spots.
Oh, wait. Time to kill that. That's our third strike.
All right, we're out of here. We're out of here. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll catch you guys next
Bye, guys.
week. Bye.